Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? What's everybody doing? You guys ask every time, when's he gonna go live? It's the same time. Every day that we do this. Every day, same time. I mean, yeah, I'm 3 minutes late right now. I had to feed the cat, but you asked that before I was late. Okay, so what are we doing today? That's a good question. Today, what we're gonna do first, I think, make sure everything's working properly. Oh, we're talking about my hair again, huh? That's a pretty important topic. Yeah, it's possible to have dark blonde hair, believe it or not. It's a pretty crazy concept, I know. Alright, so this is the head we ended up with last week, guys. If you weren't here, I'm actually very pleased with how it turned out. I quite like it. I may end up changing this bit right. Actually, let's just try it right now and see what we think. Might be a quick thing to do. And then what we're gonna do, well, we'll get to that. I'll show you what we're gonna do in just a minute. Let me see how this works. Didn't really think of this last week, and I should have. So if I pull that back, it should work. It should look nice. Let's do that. Let's say we want that one there. Let's pull that one to like right there. And oop. Let's move that one just a little bit. Good day sounds like Geckham's. Nice. Or I could bury the whole bit right into that earpiece. I think that's the option we want to go with. Yeah, I like that the best. Alright, we'll keep that right there. Alright. Good. We'll call that one done. Oh, you know what? Almost done. I want to play around with this brow right here, and then we'll call it, or maybe just tuck this down right here. I'm not sure yet. Then we'll call it done. Alright, so we need a little tiny brush. And we just want to move. Like that, I think. Kind of have that bevel. You see this bevel right here? Kind of have it just disappear and fold under. I think that gives it kind of an interesting look. Thanks, Tiggs. Yep, we'll just leave it like that. Well, let's see. What if instead of pulling the top part out, let's push the bottom part under? Yeah, I like that better. That gives it better shape. Opens up the eyes just a little bit more. Right on. Hey, Karma Productions. What's up? Blaze Animations. Why are we saying oof? Alright, we're gonna leave that guy right there. I like it. Like that. Wonderful. Good work, guys. I'll see you next time. Nah, I wish it was that easy. Ice water. Hang on 1 second. Alright. JC on James starts by saying ooh or oh. Am I a fan of the Fallout games? I've only played the most recent one, which is Fallout 4, and it was alright. I don't have much against it, but I can't say it really pulled me in. It was alright. Alright, so tonight what we're going to do, I have a couple of things I have on the list of things we need to do. One of which is make a head using, or which uses this face mask. And I have to do a bit of hair that goes with it, and I have a plan for that. Thanks, Blaze. Then I also need to redo the hood. You know what? Alright, I'll let you guys pick. Do you want to work on the hood first? What I want to do with the hood is just give it some panels of different materials to make it look a little bit more futuristic, obviously, than just plain old cloth. So, do you guys want to work on the hood, or should we make a head that uses this faceplate? So it's going to be like a normal head from the faceplate up. It's going to have like a hair just on the top of his head that's just combed back slightly. And, or maybe a little bit spiky, I guess. And, nah, mostly combed back. And that'll be that for that head. Or I can just redo the hood parts. The thing is, for the hood, I also need to do some insert stitching. But I haven't made the stitches yet, so we might make stitches if we do that. I didn't dislike Fallout 4, I just dislike a lot of the features of it. I think it gets hyped more than it should because it's a Fallout game. Well, Blaze said head, so we're gonna make the head. Okay, so we're gonna start with. Oh, sorry, Bloodstock. It shouldn't take us that long to do the head, especially if I don't do the hair. But even if I do the hair, it shouldn't take that long. So we're gonna start off with this head, which is the one that turned into this helmet, and we're gonna work our way back to base head. Put the face mask on it. Oh man. Alright, so we're gonna delete all of this. I thought I did that already. Maybe I didn't ever save it. Alright, so we're just gonna delete some bits. I forgot we had another head with an eye thing on it. Maybe instead of doing, because I kind of like that eyepiece. It has a bit of a cyberpunky feel. How many heads? There's a bunch currently. This is the hair we're gonna be emulating tonight. It really shouldn't take that long. Blaze, what are you saying to me? I don't know what you're talking about, Blaze. Convincing, you said that easy. Convincing, I'm not sure what you're saying. Okay, so we need to get rid of this chin strap because we used it for something else. We're gonna use it. We'll make a different chin strap. So that's a different hairpiece we're not gonna use tonight. Same thing with that and that. This is the hairpiece, so let's just click on that. Let's just not worry about the eyepiece for now. We'll figure something out with that. And then we also need to get the head that doesn't have the giant gouge missing. Don't I have one up there? It is. Nope, that's not it. Oh man, but maybe this one can go back. I deleted the head that I needed. which means I'm a moron. No big deal. Oh, well, you're the first one that answered. Hey, what's up, Wicked? You're the first one that answered, Blaze. So you, that's what we're doing. I mean, we have to do it all anyway, so I don't really care what we do. Who's messaging me now? Gosh. Looks like an X-Man character. No. What do you think of the exclusive? That is not confirmed yet. I just want to point that out. People are going nuts about it. It's not confirmed anywhere as far as I know because it was posted but then pulled, which means it's either inaccurate or they just weren't supposed to talk about it. We don't know yet. So let's cool the jets, but I'm also very happy if it is the exclusive for Comic-Con this year, because I don't have to worry about buying it then, because I don't want it. I'm 99% sure I'm going to be selling... Oh, we need to redo that hair still too, guys. I'm 99% sure I'm going to be selling off my Netflix and movie-based Marvel Legends, which means I don't need those. Alright, that's the head we're going to be working with. Do you ever make these figures on ZBrush? I don't... You're watching me make them right now. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, okay, so let's... Alright, we'll save this. Actually, cancel. This is going to be called hair. We have hair 2, hair 3, hair 4, which isn't a hair head, but whatever, hair 5. So this is hair 6. Yeah, I am working on them right now, as we speak. Don't know what you're talking about. Okay, mask. We need to grab the mask. You mean instead of digitally making them? You want me to make them with traditional sculpting in ZBrush? That's not possible. ZBrush is digital. Where's the mat? There it is. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is... First we're gonna try something and see if it works. We just do merge visible, grab it, and then do dynamic up to 5. Yeah, that'll be fine. Hey, Eli Gamerman. Not in ZBrush. What? You know I make figures not in ZBrush. That's every custom I've ever made. Although I do use parts from ZBrush. Okay, so we have this. Let's copy this over. Actually, let's do this first. Let me turn the teeth off. What is that? Oh. The teeth. Oh no, okay. Oh, we're good. Alright. Let's do that. Bring it back over. Juritos, I hear you have a problem with my hair. Actually, I saw that you had a problem with my hair. So this isn't going to fit perfectly. Probably. It might. And that's pretty close. But it's not quite there. You can see it is very close. Whoa, why was that so loud? Alright, what just happened? Someone did a thing. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I didn't get to acknowledge whoever did a thing. Alright, so we're just going to rotate this a little bit. I think that'll probably work. But the light doesn't make it brown. It's just dark blonde. Blonde and brown are not on the same color spectrum. It's not like it goes from blonde to brown. There's brown hair. You can have dark brown hair and light brown hair. Then there's blonde hair. You can have dark blonde and light blonde. My hair is blonde. It's just very dark unless there's direct light hitting it at an angle which you can see. But for this kind of lighting, especially since it's coming from the side and not the top, it ends up diffusing through my hair, making it look darker rather than reflecting off of the hair. If I go like this, it probably looks lighter than when I'm sitting normally. Just a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe because the lights are too far. I don't know. But yeah, I have dark blonde hair. You can even tell it's not completely brown. You can tell it has a yellow tint to it. It's just very dark. Also, why are you worried about my hair so much, bro? Ease up off it. I mean, I can show you my license if you like. I'm not going to do that. I can show you that part of my license if you like. Probably still not going to do that. Hey, what's up, Scourge? Yeah, I like that better. A little bit more of an angry mouth look. We do have to pull... Oh, that's the wrong face. Nope. We have to pull the nose in a little bit, and the mouth a little bit. Not that it has to actually fit under there, because it's an action figure and nobody's going to be checking under the mask. But it looks better when you make sure the proportions are right. How are you doing today, dude? Are you talking to me and just ignoring the previous conversation, which we've already started? Hurtful. Hey, Mickey. What's up? Hey, Mickey. I'm not going to say it out loud because I'm guessing you don't necessarily want that. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about it another time. I'm going to ask you something, but it doesn't matter. I know, John. It's almost as if I planned it that way. Turtle invasion. Hello, turtle invasion. They're probably gonna be made in China. Yeah. Whoa, hey, hey, hey. That's not what I asked for. I don't like that. That was weird. Some kind of weird error just happened. What the hell? I can't click on anything. Okay, now it seems to be working. That's interesting. It just doesn't make sense, John. Why would you want it to stick out even more from the face? That would just impede vision. Oh my god, that is really annoying. Holy crap, stop! It keeps popping up some kind of error code. And obviously I need to do something about that with Pixelot. Okay. I'm gonna reinitialize ZBrush. You've seen a lot of Oni masks with Roman-esque noses? That seems unlikely. Oh, you know what? That's not what I wanted. We'll just work on this file for the hair, and then we'll do the hood. In general, that's not a bad idea. It's just it doesn't fit on the one that I made. I wonder if that hair would look cool with the mask. Nah. Alright, that's the hair we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there for now. And I'm going to put in the pieces that we need. And then, just like the main ones. And then we'll fill it in. It doesn't have to be exact, it just has to be, you know, kind of close. Can you actually make a custom figure? That would be cool. No. No. I've made hundreds of customs. I don't think I need to stream the process of making customs. Psycho Nugget. What's up? How long does this take you? What? I don't know what you mean by that. How long does it take to make a whole line of action figures? As long as it takes. It's not like I've made a whole line of action figures before. So, I can't tell you. 'Cause I don't know. Hey, now we're cooking. So for those of you that haven't watched me do this before, what I'm doing is I'm just getting some of the main pieces in place, and then I'll turn the hair off like you just saw. I'll do this, and it looks like it's not much of anything, and it's not yet, but then I'll go ahead and fill in all the other pieces, and it'll look just like it's supposed to. If you squint, kind of, you can kind of get an idea of how it's going to look. You have to basically just close your eyes and imagine it. That's how much you have to squint, but it'll work. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it a bunch. I don't normally use a sculpt underneath, but for this one we happen to have it since I already sculpted it once and I decided to not go that route. I can make it look better this way. Can I make one with a cool mask? Could make a bunch with cool masks. In fact, I made a whole bunch with cool masks. This is most of them. And mostly them, not all of them. Basically from this head, not these two, but from here, going over, excluding, yeah, to right here. That's pretty much them. Hey, Alfonso, how's it going? Alright, somebody has to kick out Tiny. Banner. That's inexcusable conduct. And before you say, but hey, you do the same thing about the Red Ranger, you should know the rules don't apply to me. Because I am the law. Someone banned John for being too quick to do that. Thanks, love, Helen. I appreciate it. I'm so tired of doing hair. Oh, it's almost like I didn't plan for the fact that these figures are gonna need to have hair. The green one, Alfonso? Yeah, because they got the proportions just nailed in. It looks really good. Man, I had a viewer tell me today that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to proportions. That hurt my feelings. Hey, you want to not walk on the mic stand and everything? Hmm? No. Stop it. Hey, you're walking on stuff. No, leave it alone. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're gonna get comfortable? Can you please just sit down? Oh my gosh. We'll get back to work in a few minutes here, as soon as the cat decides to stop. Oh, goodness. No, leave the cup alone. You want to go get a new home? You want to go live in the shelter? Leave the cup alone. Okay. Stop. No. Alright, is that enough for me to just freehand the rest? No, the back's a little sparse. How big is it, Alfonso? That's what she said. Oh. It'd be a heck of a cake. I'm coming to that party. Alright, that's probably enough. I can probably fill it in. I mean, I'll be going back and forth to the other part anyway, but... I just really like the way this other part turned out, so I'm thinking I might use it for a lot of guidance, but that's okay. Oh man, it's coming together. I know it's a long process, guys, but someone's got to do it. If you want action figures that look good, it takes a lot of work. Leave the cup alone. I don't want to drink water out of a cup that you rub your mouth on when you lick your butt. Oh man. We should have done the hood first, guys. Whose idea was it to do the head first? Someone ban him. That was, a joke, of course. I just need to take a breather with the hair. I've done so much hair in the last couple of weeks. I don't want to do anymore. That's not a great look. Well, I'll get around to it. I'll clean it up as we go. Okay, after tonight, we're not doing hair for a while. I really just don't like doing hair. I don't want to do anymore. We might even stop halfway through and go work on the hood, and then come back to it. Robot bro. Thanks. Not really much done here, but it's coming together, I guess. Lloyd Buster. Thanks. I think this is gonna work out. Sure, Cloud Soda. I'm a little curious how it's your first time using it, but you have a model due tomorrow. That doesn't sound... That doesn't sound right. Uh-oh. I blinked a contact out of place. Yeah, go ahead, ask away. I'll try to help. Wait a minute. You're using the software for the first time and you're using it for a job application? That doesn't seem like a good plan. But go on. You asked for ZBrush advice, not life advice, so carry on. What's your question? Also, if this company has lax requirements like that, let me know who it is and what the job position is, because maybe I could use it. Go on with your question. Hey, at least you're filling out an application, right? That's a good thing. Are you still there? What happened to the question? Oh, there we go. Doing a model, and the problem is this. I projected the model onto a lower poly one. I don't know how gigantic poly should be. The high-res one I have right now is 170K. 170K is not high-res. But there are some details from the high-res one that I can't get rid of even when projected. No, you don't get rid of details when you project. You project details onto a model. Projecting isn't for getting rid of details. What projection's for retopologizing, essentially. So you have a high-res model, you duplicate it, you knock it down to low-res, but with really clean geometry, then you divide that back up and project the details back to it so that you have all of your original sculpted details but on clean topology. That's what projection's for. I'm not sure what you're trying to do. Are you just trying to get rid of details? If you are, use ZRemesher. I'll show you. Now, obviously I have a custom user interface, but you can find... No, I don't have time to do all that. I can tell you this. If you want to do it, if you're just stylized fur, then you want to use ZRemesher probably. So for instance, this is kind of like fur. Alright, so let's say this is high res even though it's not. Like this is only 500,000, 567,000. Okay, but you're trying to get rid of the details. So you want to use ZRemesher. You'll find that under geometry. It'll have a tab over here. All the ZRemesher options. I just keep some of them right here. So you can use ZRemesher in various different options to knock it down, to get rid of the detail. Like I'm cutting it in half when I ZRemesh it. But it depends how low poly you're trying to go. But 170,000 is not high poly at all, unless your project is super duper tiny. No, that doesn't matter because the polygons are relative, so it wouldn't make a difference. You said you want to go less than 170. That's low poly. But ZBrush isn't, like, the polys in ZBrush are no different than polys in any other software, so... Do you have any background in 3D modeling at all? Well, then you're screwed. I mean, there's just way too much. Way too much involved. If you need to know 3D modeling for a job application and you have zero knowledge of 3D modeling, I can't explain enough to you in a minute here to get you up to speed. I have no idea what you're trying to do. Subdividing and erasing details. So you want to create more polygons and get rid of detail. You can do that manually, I guess. But you can see I'm starting to knock it down to low poly here, but it's not even close to... I mean, it's stylized, but it's not like cartoon stylized like you're talking about. That's what it sounded like you're talking about. But honestly, if you're applying for a job that requires you to use ZBrush and you've never done any 3D modeling in the past, you're not going to get the job. I mean, that's just... There's no way. There's no way. You might be the best artist in the world on paper or whatever, or even on tablet, whatever it is that you do. I don't know. You said you're an illustrator, so whatever you do, you might be the best in the world. But if it sounds like you're applying for the wrong job. From what you've told us, I don't think I can help. Literally. So I'm gonna go back to where I was because you kind of get the idea of how ZBrush goes. It's for a 2D. Yeah, but if you need to be able to go from 3D to 2D, then no, that's not going to work. If you're doing 3D concept or 3D models for concept art, then you still need to know how to do ZBrush. That's what I'm saying. Lloyd, you have a question. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, Cloud, I mean, a lot of artists go 3D and then they pose that around to get their 2D concept art. But if the job, I don't know what the job is and I don't know what your skill set is. All I know is that you said they required a ZBrush model and you have never done any 3D modeling in the past. So all I can say is it sounds like it's not the right job for you. Maybe it is, I don't know. But from what you've told us, it sounds like you're going to have problems. But I have no idea what you're talking about. And I don't mean this to be an insult, but it sounds like you don't know what you're talking about either, which means you don't even know what to ask because you don't have the fundamental tools. So I don't know how to help you. I mean, that would be like for me going to like a makeup thing. I don't know anything about makeup. I know how to paint. It's a similar skill set, but I can't apply for a makeup job. Zamas, what's up? How's it going? Oh, here we go. Do you have any tutorials or streams that would help me in sculpting anime chive faces? Chibi? And type I don't have any tutorials. Yeah, good luck, Club Soda. No, because the problem isn't one that I can solve in a minute. The problem is that you're applying for a job which requires a skill set you don't have. I mean, go ahead and post a screen cap if you want. I don't really care. I'll take a look briefly, but I'm trying to work here too. But I don't think it's going to make a difference, honestly. Because even if you do solve the one problem that you at the moment, that's not going to be the last one. I've been doing this for over a year, and everything I do ends up with me trying to figure shit out. Star Bear, what's up? Oh, type instead of chive. Yeah, I don't have any tutorials. On my Instagram, on my Patreon, I do show like progress work, and I've gone over some things for my customs, but I don't actually have like full-on tutorial type stuff. Are you gonna post a screen cap or? Is this also the first time you've used screen capture software? I'm just kidding. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're in a very interesting situation. Excited about any new games announced at E3? I wouldn't say excited. I'm pleased that they finally said something about Halo, but they gave us so little information, they might as well have not given it at all. So there's that. Smash Brothers, it's cool that they're adding all the characters from past games, but it's also really lousy that they haven't added characters that people have been asking for ages, like Bomberman. Or, I mean, Bomberman's an assist trophy. That's a slap in the face. So that's irritating. And then we also have... what else? Oh yeah, and then just the Halo thing. I used Clay 2 brush a little too confidently there. You're trying to do what? I don't know. You want to get rid of that line right there? Use Control Z. Undo that shit. But subdividing makes it harder to smooth stuff out. The more polygons, the denser the polygons, the harder it is to smooth. So don't divide, dude. Definitely don't divide. Also, ew, you're working in red wax. Waluigi. Seriously, we need him. Yeah, Waluigi should be in there too. No, you just... Okay, hang on a minute. Let me get this piece of hair in and I'll show you something. But then I gotta get back to work. You hope they don't add more characters? Why? That doesn't... Why? I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if they were in there from the start, but if they're not gonna, then I sure as hell hope they're gonna add more with DLC. You can also do this. Cloud Soda. Go up to your brushes. Go to your smoothing brushes. And then you have smooth directional, which will only smooth out in the direction you're going. So like if you have a bunch of lines and you run the smooth brush along the lines, it's not going to get rid of those until you go across them. But there's also smooth stronger in here, smooth valleys, which brings them up, smooth peaks, which knocks the top parts down. There's all kinds of different options in there for you. But if you're just using clay tubes and say you got a tube in there you don't want and you can't smooth it out because you're too dense, which it sounds to me like you're working too dense. You see how I can't smooth it? That's because it's too dense. You should be working much lower poly. But if let's say you do have, let's say you do have that, you know, you have a line in there you want to get rid of, you can just hold Alt and do the inverse and just kind of carefully manually get rid of it, which is not ideal, but you can do that, and then you're gonna have to rework it still. It sounds to me like you're just working at too high a poly count. You should be working as low as possible and then dividing later. What do you mean he's got chicken feet on his head? Shao Kahn's always had the claws on his head. He's got Tarkatan blood, or he's like half Tarkatan, or all, I don't know. Maybe all. You shouldn't be dividing at all. You shouldn't be even close to subdividing. You should be at a low poly. You should be using Dynamesh, moving the clay around that way. You need to watch a tutorial on Dynamesh. You should not be doing subdivisions at all at the state you're in. Hey, what studio are you applying for? Applying to? I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but maybe I will in the future. $2K games? I should start applying for that kind of shit. Is it a kind of job where you have to go in to their from home? Because I'm not moving again. Well, that's why I asked Cloud Soda, are they making people come in, or are they doing, like, work online from home type of job? Because if I could work online, I could definitely do it, but I just moved. I'm not trying to move again. Ever. No, eventually, someday. See ya, Dare Bear. Thanks for stopping by. Guys, I'm not doing hair anymore for a long time. Robot, you said that twice now. I don't know what you're talking about either time. Well, I still don't know what you're talking about. Hey guys, somebody messaged me on Facebook and gave me a link to the Articulated Icons website. I guess they're selling their figures again somehow or another. I don't know if they did a second run or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about it because I don't buy those. He's like, hey, I don't know if you're interested, but here's a link. They're selling them again. I was like, I'm not, but thanks anyway. But anyway, the point is, they were selling them for like 50 bucks. So that means one of two things. Either my figures are going to be very competitively priced, considering what my figures are going to be, or I'm not going to be able to produce them at the price point at which I would like. So it's either good news or bad news. The one thing they have, which I'm not going to have, which I'm a little bummed out about, is the ball hinge ankles. My ankles should be functional, but I think if you have a decently functional, regular, like swivel hinge, obviously a ball hinge is better, but if the cost you're able to save by doing that results in better quality, better accessories and that kind of thing, I think it's an okay trade. That's my plan anyway. Hopefully how other people think. Yeah, everybody's been talking about wanting Waluigi in the game. Literally everybody. You go down the street and be like, hey, what do you think about Waluigi? And this, before you even finish saying Waluigi, they'll say, yeah, he should be in Smash. I made a very big piece right there. I didn't need a big one at all. I should have definitely started from the back. The way this hair is leaning or flowing backward, it's gonna be a bitch to keep working on it that way. I don't understand your question. That didn't clear it up. I still don't understand your question. Oh, what kind of price point would you need to sacrifice to get a ball joint instead of a hinge joint? Ball joints are cheaper than hinges because there's just a peg. Are you talking about a ball hinge? But either way, that's all very specific type of information. I couldn't just throw out a random number. I mean, it depends on everything. But if something costs more to produce, that's less money you can spend on something like the paint job, for instance, or extra QC or something like that. So if you have let's say a swivel hinge ankle, which is what I'm doing, which isn't as good as a ball hinge, undoubtedly, but it costs less to make, then you can spend that money elsewhere. That's what I'm saying. I can't say what the numbers are. I have no idea offhand. It's not like I have this isn't done yet, so I haven't sent it off to a factory to get quotes. And of course, you're talking about production runs of hundreds or thousands, and so the price difference seems negligible, but then it ends up adding up. And it mostly almost everything in the action figure business comes down to mold costs. Obviously, there is production costs for painting and that kind of stuff, but mold costs are a big deal. So if you can make a joint, let's say, that is 2 pieces rather than 3 pieces, that's potentially a big savings. Now, sometimes you can fit those pieces all on one mold and it doesn't make that much of a difference, but like I said, it all comes down to the specifics, and I can't just, literally can't answer that question. Uh-oh, we got a little low over here. That's okay. We'll just fill it in. Or we could just kind of have it make a curve. What does that dot mean? Usually people put a dot to imply that what they just said is sarcastic or untrue or something like that. Hey guys, you want some information on my Metroid accessories? It's very basic information, but it is still information nonetheless, which may be relevant if you are interested in that set of accessories for the Figma Samus Aran figures. If you're not interested, then it won't do you any good. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking is gonna have to happen. I'm gonna probably have to go through Kickstarter for the accessory pack as well. But not in the sense that, okay, if the Kickstarter works, then we can produce the line and continue it elsewhere. It's gonna be more along the lines of we're doing only a Kickstarter, and those who back it will get the stuff. And that's that. So there's not gonna be like a Kickstarter exclusive version or anything like that. It's gonna be Kickstarter exclusive entirely. And if we get enough people to back the project, then it gets made and those people get their stuff, and that's that. Ideally. Not ideally. That's what it seems like it's gonna have to be. I don't know if there's any way around that at this point, but what it looks like is that it's just gonna cost way too much for me to do it any other way. Now, I don't necessarily think that that's a problem, but other people might. So I don't know. Well, if you're using 3DS based on what you've seen me do, then that might be a problem, because 3DS and ZBrush are entirely different creatures. There we go, now we have more of a clean line. That'll help. The molds would be real metal molds. You can't make products, finished products, if you want them to look good out of 3D and be durable out of 3D printing, really. Plus, it would cost a whole lot more to 3D print each one. I mean, molds are expensive, but printing each part would cost a fortune and would take forever. It's fine, Lloyd. You're asking reasonable questions in a reasonable manner. Some people don't do that. So it's all good. Super Mario Zilla, what's up? What am I making? I don't think it could be any clearer. Honestly. I'm making a race car, obviously. Well, glad to have you, Susilla. What's up, Ash Ketchup? Thanks. Getting so tired of doing the hair. I mean, I'm very pleased with the results. I'm glad I chose to do it this way, but it turned out it was way faster for me to do the hair the old way, this way. No, you can't see it right now. I'll show you in a minute. But this is gonna look much nicer. All I can do is hope it pays off, because it's sucking the time out of me doing this. But that's the way it goes, I guess. The back of the head looks a little bald. You think maybe it's because I'm not done yet? Let's see. Does it look finished? God, I've got so much to do still. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright, well, we got one side kind of done, but by side I mean very edge of the side, which kind of blows. Crazy Ninja, what's up? We have so much more work to do. Let's just keep going, I guess. That's all we can do. I think if I get half of it done, right down the middle, we might stop working on the hair tonight. Maybe just work on the hood some. Although, honestly, we only have an hour left, so I kind of doubt that. Sorry, donde ti ment midol finger and look color, excuse me. Dude, what the heck are you saying? That wasn't English or any other language. I have no clue what you're talking about. Alright, if you're gonna just keep typing gibberish, you're gonna have to stop. Because you're clogging up the chat and nobody has any idea what the heck you're saying. Hey man, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't trying to make quality figures. Also, remember guys, this is going to be very tiny, so any of the little bits that look kind of awkward, they're going to hardly be noticeable. It'll get there. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're watching right now, why don't you go ahead and like that thumbs up button. Give it a good old click. That'd be really helpful. I would appreciate it. LA Gaming, you need to stop. Whether it's intentional or not, at this point, it's just spam. You need to cool it, man. Hey, if you only look at it from this angle, it looks awesome. Up here, not so much. Golly. What didn't I say last time, guys, if I was going to do hair for you to stop me? I'm pretty sure I told you to not let this happen. And look what you guys did. Well, they'll be about 6.5 inches tall. Proper 1/12 scale. I mean, the hair needs to get done, but I'm just so sick of doing hair. So sick of it. Listen, if you can't type properly, then just stop. You just keep sending basically gibberish over and over again. It's not okay. That's spam. I get that you want to participate, but it's clearly not working anyway, so just chill. You can just enjoy the stream by watching. But the chat's not your personal message board for you to just experiment with your keyboard or whatever it is that you're doing. I'll be releasing the figures through Kickstarter once they're all done. There's not just one figure, there's going to be a whole line of them. You can see some of the bodies over here, and a bunch of the different heads and helmets and things. The colors are just placeholders, more or less. But yeah, there's going to be a whole line. Oh my gosh. Just draw the thing. There we go. Oh my gosh. He's probably not actually watching, John. He's probably just got it on. He can probably hear me saying that now, so... Randall, John misses you. Oh, that's about what I expected. Oh, man. You know, we may not get a ton of viewers here, but I do appreciate those of you that are here. It's, I think it's a pretty good time overall. Except for the nights where I can't seem to get anything to work and ZBrush decides to crash 1,000 times. But otherwise, it's, you know, I enjoy this, and I'm glad you guys are here, whether you're a regular or a new person. I appreciate you. Anime Destro. I never made an anime Destro. You've been outed. You don't even know who I am. I had a guy message me the other day. He's like, I really love your work. This particular figure of yours was great, and I want you to make one just like it for me. And he shows me a picture, and it's not something I made. Which is funny, because I've made figures of what he wanted. I would argue better than the one he linked. And he linked someone else's work after telling me how much he liked my work. And it's not like you could have gotten to my website on accident after looking at someone else's. So it's very strange. I just responded, that's not mine and I don't copy other people's work, so... I'm not the right guy for the job, sir. Literally. Not the right guy. Which is odd. You'd think he'd have figured it out by typing in my website and then my email address that I'm not the person who made it, but he didn't. It's not Distro, man. Destro is a G.I. Joe character. That was Deathstroke. So maybe you just had the name wrong. I'm almost out. Almost out of water. Yeah, death stroke. I made a death stroke. That's got to be what you were talking about. Well, either way, thanks. As long as you're actually talking to the right person, I appreciate it. We had a guy last week, Lloyd, who said I'm his favorite YouTuber. And I'm like, thanks, I appreciate it. And then like 10 minutes later, he's subscribed. He'd never been to the channel before. He just wanted attention. Fortunately, that's a common thing for kids these days. They just try to get attention. Probably due to bad parenting, if I had to guess. Washing? I only put water in here, so I just rinse it out. Keep going. It's good. This side especially is fine. Most of this side's pretty good. A couple of the really fine bits are a little iffy. I've just kind of, like this part right here is starting to peel up. When they do that, I just kind of nip them off so they don't keep going. It's fine. But I haven't really washed it. I wash it by hand occasionally, but I don't put it in the dishwasher. John, you guys should, if you guys watch my channel and my streams especially, you should know I'm mildly, of course undiagnosed, but mildly germophobic. So yeah, I wash things. But if it's only my cup and I only put water in it, I don't need to wash it like every time I use it. I use it for like 3 days straight and then I'll give it a quick wash and then I'll use it more. Shut up, John. Alright, John's done. Randall, you're gonna be a mod again instead of John. That's totally not gonna happen, but if it did, it would make John mad, so that's why I said it. Unfortunately, in order to be a moderator, you have to actually watch the stream. And I do appreciate you keeping it on, Randall, but if you're not watching, you can't be a moderator. Plus, that one time you swore and typed up a bad message in the chat, that's kind of a no-no, also. Thanks, Super Mario. Oh, I timed out that one person. He's asked that question. He already asked before what I was doing, and then he asked again what I'm doing, and he won't stop speaking gibberish in the chat, so he needs to be timed out again. That's just... like, let's try to make sure nobody has any pleasant time in the chat at all, because I want to talk constantly, said the person who got timed out multiple times. Freaking annoying. Any advice on how to tighten a loose ball hinge waist? Unless it's a Revoltech or a Figma. Or what was that one figure I just reviewed that I said was like a Revoltech, but it... oh, that was a Figma. There's no such thing as a ball hinge waist. Well, you can't really tighten a ball hinge. Sometimes you can like thread string into the hinge itself and just kind of twist it up like a yo-yo, and sometimes that helps, but that's kind of a crapshoot. If it's a ball hinge you're asking about, and if it's the hinge part. If it's the other part, like the peg part, sometimes that can be tightened up. It really depends on the figure and how it's put together. A lot of the time, there's not really a good way to fix a joint. And sure, you'll get people that say, "Hey, here's a tutorial on how to make your joints tighter." Maybe, but most of the time, it's not going to keep. And most of the time it's only going to apply to that particular figure, or any figure that uses the same parts, of course. You have to be careful with who you listen to. I wouldn't want to give you advice that's not actually helpful. Listen, all these nice things you guys are saying about me, just remember all of those sentiments when the Kickstarter comes around. Just be like, man, all those things I said about Anthony, now it's time for me to show him how much I truly love, no, not love him, appreciate his work. That's all I need. Someone better love me. Oh, we almost got to half point. Oh, we still have a half hour. I might be able to get to like right here. That might be my max. A loose storm waist. That's a ball peg. Which part? Like, where's it loose? Loose waist? Which ones have loose waist? Only Bison, I think, because his is interchangeable. For that, I would just throw a piece of paper in there. Cut out like a little square of paper, put it on the ball, and then pop it into place. And that should tighten it up. You're watching something else, yet you're still in the chat. You're welcome to stay here and participate appropriately. But when you keep spamming the chat and you're told multiple times not to, that's just not okay. That's as simple as that. And we're happy to have everybody here if they want to be here. But if you want to be here, that means you have to behave appropriately. You've bought stuff from me before? What? You're one of the closest people to me. I mean, no offense to John, but that's not true. That's not true at all. I mean, he's an online friend, but I've never met him in real life, and he lives about 2,000 miles away from me. Yeah, try the paper. It usually works, and sometimes if the paper's too thick, you can use the plastic from the packaging, not the hard plastic, like the protective plastic. You can use that in there, and it has a little less friction. The friction coefficient is lower. I think that's the right word. Anyway, you can do that, and that might work. And that's a non-invasive procedure. That's why I always recommend that over. Don't just start dumping glue into shit. Lots of people are like, oh, put glue on it, put floor polish on it. Those options can work sometimes, but it's never always a good idea. Well, I didn't make the shirts, let's be clear about that. But thank you for doing that. Oh yeah, and that's right, you did buy a head. I forgot about that. Hey, guys, isn't there another person, like okay, so Some Bees. Is Some Bees the person we thought was Sky Blue over on Twitch? Remember Sky Blue, my Twitch viewers? Did we think Some Bees was that person, or was that a different viewer? I remember there being two people who might have been the same person, and I can't remember who they were. Thanks, Andre. I mean, honestly, I don't even like John very much. He's got so much red hair, as opposed to not having red hair. You know. I mean, that's about it, really. What else do I need? Who was it? Do you know who I'm talking about? Like, do you remember that, Alfonso? There's another person who doesn't come around anymore, who I thought was the same person as Sky Blue. And I occasionally thought Some Bees was also that person, but then I remembered Some Bees is actually Ghost Tav from YouTube. Is that right, Some Bees? Am I remembering correctly now, or am I getting people confused? There was another person. I knew it. I knew it. He disappeared after I told him I'm pretty sure you're the person that got banned using a different username. So I guess everybody wins, but I'm still curious. Unless they were I'm thinking maybe, what if Some Bees was that person and was Sky Blue? Yeah, that's what I thought. You're Ghost Tav. But you might also be all those other people. We don't know. It's the internet, man. You could be anybody. And nobody. Alright, do you remember his name, Some Bees? I know there was a person. He existed. I was worried it was a figment of my imagination, but apparently it wasn't. Uh-oh. Got a sneeze. There's a sneeze coming. Oh, I shouldn't whistle. That's probably not a pleasant sound for you guys. What did they do? Who? I don't know. Oh, that was the person that kept... Wait, it was Sky Blue who said he was gonna murder me, right? And that's when he got banned? And then we thought the other person was Sky Blue. But maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't. Nobody seems to know. Yeah, the one guy kept making jokes about murdering me, and I was like, well, you gotta go, because you're a freaking weirdo. I was just joking. Well, that's not an appropriate joke, so why don't you take your joke and never come back? These are going to be 1/12 scale, so about 6.5 inches. It was Omega Kuro, I believe. I believe it was that name, yes. I think Tiny got it. Tiny, it's weird that nobody remembered it but you. I think Tiny is that other person. We've solved it. Tiny, you gave yourself away. I think you need to be banned again. You figured it out. You gave yourself up. Oh, speaking of Tiny, I finally got around to sorting out those Pokemon cards you sent me, and I realized I tore the envelope in half right across the return address. I don't have your address anymore to send you your Patreon stuff or the Deadpool head. So I'm going to have to... Oh no! I can ship right through Patreon, or PayPal. Never mind, I don't need your information. PayPal will have it when I need it. Ignore everything I just said. Thanks again for the Pokemon cards, by the way. Let's say in the future I decide to make action figures, what advice do you have? Don't. That'd be like going to McDonald's and telling them you want to make burgers. Can they tell you something? Like, it's not gonna happen. Also, don't. Realistically speaking. It's, not gonna be profitable for you, more than likely. Do I have a favorite Pokemon? It would have to be Misty. Does that count? Damn right. I don't have that card, actually. I'm actually on the hunt for that one, and I need a jungle set victory bell. I don't have that. That's the one card I'm missing in my collection that actually needs to be done. No, I'd go Mewtwo probably. Maybe Charizard. No problem, Sunbees. That's what I'm here for. My reviews get the views. They don't get the views, but they get some views, and that's better than no views. Guys, if you're out there, and which you are, because you can hear me saying this, and if you're not hearing me, then I'm not addressing you. Please like the videos when you watch them. Give them that thumbs up, please. It's really helpful. It wouldn't be a big deal, but it is. Please do it. And please don't just like watch the first spin around of the figure and then click away from the video because you think that's all you need to know. I have lots of information in my videos which is helpful to you. And it is also helpful for me if you actually watch the videos to fruition. Is that that's not really the right word. Yeah, it's good enough. So you should really watch the entire video. That would be great. Unless you want me to never make YouTube videos again. I mean, if you want that on your shoulders, then don't watch the videos. Does guilt tripping work? I think it does, but only if you have bobs. I don't have any of those. Yeah, I do need that, John, but I need it to be in English. Bacon Tuber, you are 2 hours and 47 minutes late. What you missed would take far longer than the 13 minutes which remain. Heyo, David Ruff, or David Druff. Don't know how to say your name, but I do appreciate that you're following me over there on the Twitch. Oh my goodness, we got another one. Padro Tatico? I definitely pronounced that one wrong. LA Gaming, you are getting this close to another timeout. This close. This isn't a stream of consciousness stream. You don't need to just put whatever pops in your head in the chat, man. I think I'm making the pieces too small. I think they should all be like this size. Because I feel like I'm spending way more time doing this than I need to be. Let me check one of the other heads. Richie Sanchez. Thank you. I do have an Instagram. You can go to my channel page and all the links are right there. All the links are in the description of all my uploaded videos too. I'm pretty sure I went from making the pieces this size to making them a lot smaller, which looks better, but don't need to do that because the pieces used to be a lot bigger. Let me see. Oh, I never set up MooBot again. MooBot posts the social links, and I totally forgot about that. Dang it. A lot bigger. Though the smaller are gonna look better. Did I make the other ones that small too? His are pretty narrow also. Speaking of this figure, can I get rid of the scars? No. I want to get rid of this scar, but I guess that's not going to happen. Hey, what's up, Jordan Castro? Jackson, watch the reviews. Watch the reviews, please. Oh, I opened the wrong file again. Rats. This is the one where I didn't do the hair. Yeah, this needs to get deleted because it doesn't work properly. Dang file being corrupted or whatever's wrong with it. Upcoming figures I'm really looking forward to: Beast Wars Dinobot. I couldn't be more excited for that figure. Honestly, I am super psyched. Yeah, I mean, they're a little smaller, but I don't think they're significantly smaller. But I think it's going to be necessary for the smaller, for the hair the way it is anyway. It probably isn't necessary. I could just do them smaller on the sides and kind of like feather them in to be bigger in the middle, or not, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we're leaving it the way it is. No, not Dinobots. Dinobot. The Dinobot. The best character in all of Transformers history. I am working on customs for commissions at this time. And yes, this is taking up most of my time. 2 for 2. There are almost no rules here on this channel other than no excessive bad language and no spamming, really. I mean, those are the only hard rules there are. And if you don't want to follow those rules, then you need to. Or you need to go. That's all there is to it. Oh no, someone said something mean. That hurts my feelings. Jackson, knock it off. You can't force someone to be in an argument with you. What's going on? Are people all losing it tonight by the end of the stream? It's like we just can't do it anymore. It's time. It is time. It's not though. You should stop. Alright, couple more pieces, then I'm gonna call it. Third-party figures are mostly okay. The only thing that's really not good about them is that they're not getting licensor approval. So they're not actually like copying mold or anything, they're just producing figures of characters without the licensor. So like Hasbro's not getting money for the Transformers figures the third-party people are making, but they're not actually stealing the designs or anything. So it's not as bad. I'm okay for it for accessory sets for sure. I mean, hell, I'm making one because that's a whole lot less of an IP issue, really. It's an iffy topic all around. Andre, no problem. But seriously, the advice is not harsh, it's realistic. If you want to make decent money, and I don't mean a lot, I mean decent money, you're not going to do it with action figures. You are most likely going to lose money making action figures. So, if you're doing it for fun, then go for it, man. But if you're doing it for profit, can't recommend it. And even if you end up being awesome, it's still a long road to making a decent money at it. So, it's, and that's even if you might be awesome at it and still have trouble making money. And that's not an uncommon type of situation for somebody doing art type stuff. So yeah, it sounds harsh, but it's realistic, and realistic advice is way more helpful than the feel good, hey, you can do whatever you want type of advice. So hopefully that is helpful. What the hell? I clicked move. Move brush, not insert. Did we get half done? Oh, we're 5 minutes over. I almost got halfway done. Damn, man, this is taking a lot longer than it should. I think it's gonna look good when it's done, but damn. Let's do a little bit more before we quit. I don't do model kits at all, so no. Alright, last piece for the night, guys. We're going to get this one in place, and then we're going to call it. And then I'm going to go edit a video and get it uploaded for tomorrow morning. And then I'll be back, and we'll play some Warframe. Just kind of hang out. Alright, we are done for the night, guys. Like I said, I'll be back in a little while to play some video games and hang out. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for some more sculpting and some more conversation and all that kind of good stuff. So if I see you in a little bit, cool. If I don't see you until tomorrow, have a good night. And before you go, please do give the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And subscribe. Or follow if you're on Twitch. Or subscribe if you're on Twitch. And send me all your money.